So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about doing VC investment deals over Zoom. So we had a discussion with Sanjay Zimmerman. So Sanjay Zimmerman, he's the principal at White Star Capital. And White Star Capital, they're a VC firm, of course, and they're primarily looking for companies that have established a significant product market fit in their local markets, and use their cross-border networks to help them scale internationally and become global champions, right? Global companies. So they have offices in New York, Paris, Montreal, Tokyo, and Hong Kong. And basically they invest after Series A, right? So their funds started to invest in Europe and North America, but they expanded to Asia and Southeast Asia in 2017, right? They've done 4 investments in Asia so far. And well, we had the discussion with Sanjay, right, in our Launch Parties webinar. So now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the insights in terms of how he closes deals online over Zoom, right? So basically he mentioned that during 2020 was the catalyst, and 2021 as a continuation of what was going on during COVID pandemic. Right? So that means 30 to 40% of the startups were deeply affected by the pandemic, right? So these startups have and are struggling to survive, but a small percentage of them, managed to increase the valuation, right? Because obviously they adapted faster, or their business model was more conducive to lockdowns, right? And basically some of the valuations of many of these startups during the pandemic has increased significantly, right? So now Sanjay mentioned that during the last few months, they've basically done a deal every month. So that's very good considering, pre-COVID people were just, especially VCs, they just met face to face in order to build trust with the founders and with the team in order for them to write a check. But now he mentioned that all their investments have been done through Zoom, right? And all their process. But obviously it remains a challenge because, we discussed that trust is hard to build just over Zoom calls on its own, right? But, they had to come around it, and like many firms have, just to do repeated Zoom calls and basically go through due diligence and basically write those checks. Right. So he also mentioned that right now it's a very interesting time for founders to raise money because VCs are, easily available and do Zoom calls, right? And well, we asked him as well some of the areas that he's excited and some of the verticals he sees some potential, and basically mentioned the future of work was definitely an area that they're looking into. Because obviously, as we've seen through digitalization and basically all areas of life now, we're going to need new ways and forms to collaborate, new ways to work in the so-called new normal. And what is the future of work going to look like? So this is definitely an area he's looking at. And also he mentioned health tech. Health tech is another area they're looking into very actively. So we have 5 teams present at our webinar, and Sanjay had his 3 top picks. So I'm going to tell you which ones are those. So number 3 was Sipo. Sipo is a company based in Finland, and Rico is the founder. So Sipo, they're in a space with a tremendous amount of growth, and there's a lot of money being poured into this space. So Sipo, in a nutshell, it's a platform for gamified mobile learning and training. So Sipo has been expanding in the Nordics and has significant amount of traction there, and it's also looking to expand into Latin America and Southeast Asia. So number 2 will be Niall, is the founder CEO of Aptivate Africa. They're based out of Kenya, Nairobi in Kenya. And basically they provide organizations with a system to manage digital vouchers for meals, gifts, entertainment, travel, and groceries. So Aptivate Africa have been focusing on Africa mainly, but they're also looking into a different market. So Sanjay was excited about the space, and that was his pick number 2. And his pick number 1 was Bubgard. Bubgard, and the founder, her name is Elizabeth Rice, as her nickname. And this is a very, very interesting company. They're basically, what they're doing is, it's an antivirus for online harassment. And what they're trying to do is create a browser plugin for which it would alert users of sites for which potentially people could be sexually harassed, in various ways. So this is definitely an interesting company. She did a great pitch as well. And yeah, so as you've seen, digital collaboration over Zoom is definitely here to stay. We've learned how to communicate, engage digitally in the last year. We would not be able to do this over a year ago because we were actually meeting face to face and doing tons of events. But as you've seen, venture deals are happening online, pitching is happening online, and VCs are getting to know companies online as well. So that's it.